Hi, welcome to Fill My Cup. I'm going to be giving a word today from Ezekiel chapter 8 through 13. I actually heard Ezekiel chapter 9, verse 2, and that reads, 6 men soon appeared from the upper gate that faces north, each carrying a deadly weapon in his hand. With them was a man dressed in linen, who carried a writer's case at his side. They all went into the temple courtyard and stood beside the bronze altar. Okay, and then that took me over to Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 1. It says, again, a message came from the Lord. Son of man, you live among rebels who have eyes but refuse to see. They have ears but they refuse to hear, for they are rebellious people. So that takes me back to chapter 8. So basically in chapter 8 of Ezekiel, our Father is saying here on chapter 8, verse 6 actually, it says, Son of man, he said, do you see what they are doing? Do you see the distasteful sins the people of Israel are committing to drive me from my temple? But come, you will see even more distasteful sins than these. So throughout chapter 8, he starts to name, I wrote down about 5 detestable sins that he showed the prophet Ezekiel that were going on in his temple. Okay, the first one I came across was the hand-built, the handmade idols, like sculptures. These different sculptures that are being worshipped, whether they're wood, gold, or silver. The second distasteful sin I came upon was it was a hole in the temple wall, which was like a hidden doorway. And once he went into the doorway, he seen pictures of animals and different creatures, and they were burning incense for these creatures. And the leaders of the temple and Ezekiel, they were actually bringing people here to this hidden area. The third distasteful taste I seen was women crying to Tammuz. I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's Tammuz. Now, Tammuz was a shepherd who died, but then he went down to the netherworld to be revived. Okay, and then number 4, worshiping. He's seen people worshiping the universe, like the sun, the moon, different astrology, things like that, crystals. Number 5, he said he's seen some of the leaders, again, leading the nation into violence. It says, I will neither pity or spare them, and though they cry for mercy, I will not hear them. Our Father is starting in his sanctuary, where his leaders that do not speak truth. The sins are great, entire land full of murder and filled with injustice. So confirmation of what I was hearing, he actually took me to Ezekiel 13. So I'm going to read just a little bit of that for, because a lot of people watch these prophetic words on YouTube, but you should always test the spirit. Okay, at the end of this message, I'm going to do another video, and it's going to have a prayer on there that you're always supposed to speak before you listen to anything on YouTube and afterwards. And God will give you confirmation. Always ask for confirmation, because he's pretty good at that. He asks and you shall receive. Okay, he's the God of truth. Okay, so in Ezekiel 13, it says, Then this message came to me from the Lord. Son of man, prophesy against the false prophets of Israel who are inventing their own prophecies. Say to them, listen to the word of the Lord. This is what the sovereign Lord says. What sorrow awaits the false prophets who following their own imaginations and have seen nothing at all. O people of Israel, these prophets of yours are like jackals digging in the ruins. They have done nothing to repair the breaks in the walls around the nation. They have not helped to stand firm in battle on the day of the Lord. Instead, they have told lies and made false predictions. They say this message is from the Lord, even though the Lord never sent them. And yet they accept him to fulfill and yet they expect him to fulfill their prophecies. Can your visions be anything but false? If you claim this message is from the Lord when I have not even spoken to you, therefore this is what the sovereign Lord says. Because what you say is false and your visions are a lie, I will stand against you, says the sovereign Lord. I will raise my fist against all the prophets who see false visions and make lying predictions, and they will be banished from the community of Israel. I will blot their names from Israel's record books, and they will never again set foot in their own land. Then you will know that I am the sovereign Lord. This will happen because the evil prophets deceive my people by saying all is peaceful when there is no peace at all. It's as if the people have built a flimsy wall, and these prophets are trying to reinforce it by covering it with whitewash. Tell these whitewashers that their wall will soon fall down. A heavy rainstorm will undermine it. Great hailstones and mighty winds will knock it down. And when the walls fall, the people will cry out, "What happened? What happened to your whitewash?" Therefore, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will sweep away your whitewash wall with a storm of indignation, with a great flood of anger, with hailstorms of fury. I will break down your wall right to its foundation, and when it falls, I will crush you. Then you will know that I am Lord. At last, my anger against the wall and those who covered it with whitewash will be satisfied. Then I will say to you, the wall and those who whitewashed it are both gone. They were lying prophets who claimed peace, who would come to Jerusalem when there was no peace at all. I, the sovereign Lord, has spoken. So he's actually telling me that I want to keep going. Keep going. It says judgment against false women prophets. Now, son of man, speak out against the women who prophesy from their own imaginations. This is what the sovereign Lord says. What sorrow awaits you women who are ensuring the souls of my people, young and old alike. You tie magic charms on their wrists and furnish them with magic veils. Do you think you can trap others without bringing destruction to yourself? You bring shame on me among my people for a few handfuls of barley or a piece of bread. By lying to my people who love to listen to lies, you kill those who should not die and promise life to those who should not live. This is what the sovereign Lord says. I am against all your magic charms, which you use to ensure my people like birds. I will tear them from your arms, setting my people free like birds set free from a cage. I will tear off the magic veils and save my people from your grasp. They will no longer be your victims. Then you will know that I am the Lord. You have discouraged the righteous with your lies, but I didn't want them to be sad. And you have encouraged the wicked by promising them life, even though they continue in their sins. Because all of this, you will no longer talk of seeing visions that you never saw, nor would you make predictions, for I will rescue my people from your grasp. Then you will know that I am Lord. So again, that was Ezekiel chapter 13. Please go and read that. That's confirmation for you of what I had spoken on, what I had heard. So let me continue. So I had got confirmation while reading Ezekiel, which was Revelations 8:3. So I'm going to go and I'm going to read that to you guys as well. And again, always test the spirits if you feel like something is worth you for confirmation. It says, then another angel with a gold incense burner came and stood at the altar, and a great amount of incense was given to him to mix with prayers of God's people as an offering on the gold altar before the throne. Okay, and then there are people in God's temple planning evil and giving wicked counsel in the city. I know what you are saying, for I know every thought that comes to our minds. You have taken away life from many. Your followers are victims of injustice. As for you, I will soon drag you from this shield. I will bring on the sword of war you so greatly fear, says the Lord. I will drive you from my people and hand you over to the foreigners that will carry out judgments against you. I myself will execute judgment on you, and then you will know I am the Lord. You have refused to obey decrees and regulations. Instead, you have copied the standards of the world around you. Although I have scattered you, I will be your sanctuary during your time of exile. I will gather you back from the world where you have been scattered. I will give you your land once again. When you return there, you will no longer be these idols. There will no longer be these idols, and I will give them singleness of the heart and put away a new spirit in them. I will take away the stubborn heart and replace it with a tender, responsive heart. And then you will be able to obey your guided steps. They will truly be my people, and I will be their God. But for those who long for vile images and detestable idols, I will repay them fully for their sins. I, the Lord, have spoken. Okay, guys. Yeah, and that took me to Ezekiel 12:23. And he was saying a new proverb in Israel. Tell the people, this is what the sovereign Lord says. I will put an end to the proverb that you will soon stop quoting it. Now give them this new proverb to replace the old one. The time has come for our prophecies to be fulfilled. There will be no more false visions, flattering predictions in Israel. For I am the Lord. If I say it, it will happen. There will no longer be more delays. You rebels of Israel, I will fulfill my threat of destruction in your own lifetime. I, the sovereign Lord, have spoken. Then this message came to me from the Lord. Son of man, the people of Israel are saying he's talking about the distant future. His visions won't come true for a long, long time. Therefore, tell them this is what the Lord says. No more delays. I will now do everything I have threatened. I, the sovereign Lord, have spoken. So when he says that, he's saying everything. If your wages are good wages, he's going to do that. No more delays. But if your wages are sin, then he has spoken. No more delays in that as well. It's judgment. He's been giving me a lot of words on judgment. And I feel like I should bring to you what I hear. I am a servant of the Lord. I am a vessel of him. So, that's my job. It's not me. It's for him. It's for his children to call his children home. And I'm just thankful for God for allowing me to be a part of that, honestly. So thank you guys again. And please pray on this message that is for you. The next video will give you the prayer